What's up, guys? This is the gambling show. So if you don't like gambling, just sit through the first little part and then turn it off. So when you see a thumbnail with blue on it, that is a Bet Online gambling show. Before I get into the gambling, I want to talk about young Hayden Deegan and how him becoming a man is going to affect the Deegan family and the Deegan brand. They're headed for some bumpy times. How will they navigate it? BetOnline has a huge mismatch. You gotta move on this one quick. So if you're gonna bet, hurry. There's a ridiculous mismatch that I cannot believe they put out. If you haven't created your account, use the link in the description. That's how they take care of me. Let's get into this.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So thanks to the Deegans YouTube channel, we've got to watch young Hayden grow up in front of our eyes. And now this is a story as old as time. We see this with child actors. We've seen it many times in our sport. Where these young kids, they rely on their parents. Their parents are their support system. Throughout this time, their parents guide them and are a crucial part of their career. But they always hit a breaking point where the kid, or now an adult in Hayden Deegan, but he's still 18, he's young enough, but you can already see it starting to happen. Villapoto's parents, Ezra Lusk's parents, I can't even tell you how many people, almost every single top racer has to go through this. Adam Cincerillo at some point had this. Austin Forkner has had this. And it usually comes in when they introduce like when young Hayden decides, when he finds a girl and falls in love, and they stop showing his parents, on camera, and they start showing her, that becomes a weird dynamic, especially with the YouTube and how it's actually a commodity for the Deegan family that Brian and Marissa are always on camera. And we're seeing the first signs of this. Hayden has posted a video on his own personal YouTube channel, not the Deegan family channel, and his channel only has 51,000 subscribers. Obviously that'll change. He'll be in the millions in no time. But it's been brought to my attention that Hayden and Haley are kind of just a touch bitter. But like any kids, they don't understand the things that their parents do for them. That money from the YouTube channel bought the house they lived in. That money from the YouTube channel bought the tracks that Hayden learned on. It did all those things. So while they didn't directly get the money, but that's something the Deegan family is going to have to address at some point. But I think Hayden is happy that now he has his own channel. He can get his own revenue and become his own man and maybe even start his own family here in the near future. But this is uncharted territory in our sport. We've seen it happen, we've seen it go bad, but we've never seen it where it was part of an entertainment commodity like it is with the YouTube family and the Deegans. How is Marissa going to handle, and that, listen, I've been married. Your mom and the spouse of your son is a hard relationship. Oftentimes the mother feels like she's being replaced, and it can get ugly. It absolutely can get ugly. It takes a certain type of person or people to be able to accept a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law wholeheartedly, and it takes a lot of give on each side. We're going to get to see this play out in real time with this YouTube channel. Whether they edit it out or not, there will be enough information that we'll be able to see what's happening. You add to that, Hayden Deegan has his own channel. I'm sure he has free reign to say whatever he wants over there, or at least he will in time. Right now, I'm sure they still have him a lot under the thumb and, hey, don't say this, don't do that. And he listens because he's a smart kid and he understands he's still a kid. But once, like I said, once you introduce a girl or a love of his life into there, things are going to get interesting. I really, really hope that Brian and Marissa are strong enough to step back, trust that they've done a good enough job with Hayden, because I think they have, and let him be his own man. Because this kid is the most important thing to happen to this sport in a long time. And I really hope this isn't the beginning of the fracture of the Deegans, and instead the beginning of a new chapter of the Deegans.
3, 2, 1.
All right, let's get into the money-making portion of this show. Bet online. If you use the link in the description, you can go bet on the Supercross races, the SMX Round 2 in Dallas. There's a huge mismatch. I don't know what they were thinking, putting RJ Hampshire at 33 to 1. That's right. You bet $1, you win 33, you would collect $34. I already put my bet on RJ because I think they're going to fix this, and that should be more like a 10 to 1. 10 to 1's even not bad odds, but 33 to 1 is ridiculous. Get on there. Put some money on him. Whether he wins or not, trust me, it's just a mismatch. Hayden will probably win. He's at minus 150. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 10 or 15 bucks on Hayden, And then I'm going to put $5 on RJ. So if RJ wins, I cash big. If Hayden wins, win a little bit. But I think one of those two guys will get the overall in Dallas. As far as the matchups in Dallas, we've got Tom Vial versus Levi Kitchen. I like this matchup. It's pretty even. But I just think Levi Kitchen's a bit stronger and a bit better at these type of tracks and the higher speeds. I think they intimidate Tom just a little bit. So I'm going to go with Levi Kitchen, even though he's minus 125, which is not losing much. But I'm going to bet a little bit of money on Levi Kitchen to finish ahead of Tom Vial. In the 450 class, you've got Jet Lawrence versus Chase Sexton. Jet Lawrence is minus 150. And I mean, I don't know. That's kind of like Hayden in the other class. It's not a lot. I would go ahead and put a little bit on Jet Lawrence being the favorite. I just think he's going to win. Chase Sexton looked tired. He took that big hit, and you could see from the press conference that his attitude is a little bit off. He's a little burned out. It's hard to get that back in 1 week. He also knows right after this, he's going to Spain to ride an MXGP, then the Des Nations. Like, he's got a lot on his plate. It's hard to recover when you know you have that much coming up. And as hard as he works, and as long as this season's been, I just don't see him bouncing back. Whereas Jet's just going to get better after last week. He was coming in not sure where his cardio was. He's refreshed. So I think that's a no-brainer. You take Jet over Chase Sexton at minus 150. Now, the next one is one I text them. I looked at these. I didn't see this matchup on there. I text them. I said, listen, we got to get Chase Sexton versus Eli Tomac. I see this one as even money. I would go, I don't know who's going to be ahead of who, but after Eli's performance last week, if they're going to give me plus 110 over minus 125 on Chase Sexton, which is pretty close to even, when you're gambling, you rarely get actually even. That's pretty close. I'm going with Eli Tomac once again because Chase is burned out. And Eli's fresh, and he looks like a guy who could really go. I could see him possibly winning. I mean, it's doubtful, but I could see him possibly winning this race. And that leads me to the overall win statistics for this race. You get Eli Tomac at 5-1 to win this race. I think that's really good odds. I'm going to put some money on Eli Tomac to win because I think Jet has one mistake in that second moto. Eli's your winner. He is the second best guy in my opinion. And to get 5-1, Chase Sexton's only plus 175. I don't like that. I think it's too close. I would rather go with Jet at minus 125 over Chase Sexton. But if you want to do one of those hedge bets where you put a little bit of money, you put like $10 on Jet, then you put like $5 on Eli at 5-1. If Jet wins, you break even. If Eli wins, you make pretty good money. I like to do those because you almost like hedge it. The only way you really lose is if Chase Sexton gets in there and upsets it. I don't see that happening. Remember, guys, use the link in the description to create your account. You can bet on football. You can bet on politics. This app is awesome, and they do pay out pretty quickly. If you use crypto, you get your payouts faster. Restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Thank you, guys. Thank you, members. I really appreciate it, and I'll be back with another gambling show next week.